Yeah.
Hello and welcome everyone. Today it's the three of us. It's me, Yana, and Russell, and I called this session 10K Secrets and Newsletter Growth because that's what we're going to talk about today. First of all, Russell, do you want to give a short elevator pitch of what 10K Secrets is all about? Because I think you're
Sure.
the one doing it the best.
Sure. So 10K Secrets is a publication that we started between Write, Build, Scale and the author stack. We then, in celebration of it starting, we created a book called 10K Secrets, which everyone who subscribes to that newsletter can get for free at 10ksecrets.substack.com. The general idea behind the book is 14 successful creators going through one strategy that led to a 10K month. And so, like, the hope is that every person who listens, who reads the book, can connect with one of those 10 strategies because a six-figure business is built on 10K months. How did I do?
Awesome, absolutely awesome. I see you've been doing this a couple of times already, so I really love that. One of those 14 creators is here with us today, Yana. For those of you who don't know you, give us like a super short elevator pitch about yourself, but also let us know about your specific strategy.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a 9 to 5 job and I'm writing. I'm mostly on Substack and I'm helping people grow their newsletters, mostly paid newsletters. And my strategy is actually how to scale a newsletter to a 10K per month with some automations. With some tactics on growth on the free subscribers and then conversion to paid subscribers and also upsells for digital products and mid-tier offers and also high-tier offers, like, for example, coaching.
Yeah. For everyone who's not a complete expert in digital marketing, one thing that I've heard over and over the years is email is dead. No one needs email marketing. There's SMS marketing. No one cares about emails. What are both of your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Yes, I think it's a must. If I may start first. So I think it's a must. Um, I knew it's a must from the very beginning when I started with my online business, but it was so difficult to build an email list from the other platforms, and it's good that I found Substack. It's so easy on Substack. Maybe that's why most people think that it's not that important, but actually it is important because that's the only way you can connect directly to your audience. And you can do basically it's I think it's the highest level of freedom that we can have with creators. We could do so much things like that. We don't depend on the algorithms and any other like middleman in between.
Yeah, well, I also think that people tend to equate the health of something with how easy it is to like things and like how much engagement you get. And like engagement has never paid one bill for me ever. Um, so if you're just saying, oh, email is dead because like there's not a lot of responses or likes or shit, whatever that thing is, like, I mean, that is such a small part of owning a business. Like if you looked at my publication and judged it by the number of like likes or comments on a post, it would look like it is failing massively because there's like not that many of them. But like people are clicking the button to buy and to do the actions. And like, in order to have a business, you have to have revenue. You can have likes or no likes. Like, you could have a business that never gets one like. Like, you could be building back ends or giving financial advice, and like, no one even has to know your name. You could have one client and make $1 million a year. But you can't have 1 million likes and no money and have a business.
Yeah, I like that. And one more thing about the email list is that it's something that you own and that you control, and that's platform independent. Um, Short looking back, 2015, I was starting my online career. I was creating video courses on Skillshare, and it was amazing because whenever I created a new course, I clicked two buttons, and through the platform, I was able to message 5,000 students saying, "Hey, there's a new course there." Since they were already paying for a subscription on the platform, lots of them were checking out my new course, and every time I sent out a message, I was making additional income. It was amazing. But then from one day to the other, without announcement, they basically discontinued this function, and I had 5,000 subscribers that actually were interested in my content, that were opening every message that I sent them, but now I was no longer able to communicate with them. And I just see a username and I don't know where the person's from, and I have no chance of actually reaching out to them. And it was horrible, it was frustrating, and I promised myself this will never ever happen to me again. And the next day I started building an email list. And this has been almost 10 years now. Since then, everyone told us email is dead, there's no future in email marketing, but somehow it's always circling back to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Well,
yes.
yeah. I mean, I would also say that, like, for capitalism to exist, email has to be dead because email is something that costs very little to maintain and makes a lot of money. So, like, all of the tech companies are incentivized to, like, say email is dead because Facebook doesn't make any money on ads. Google doesn't make any money on ads from, like, connecting directly to an inbox. And they have been trying to take access away to people's inbox since they gave it to them,
Yeah.
including, like, now AI summaries of stuff, like all of these ways that, like, you now have to pay them to access their people.
Mm.
That is what the entirety of Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, all of these programs are based upon. And if you don't need to get people's attention to make them buy, then the entire system of social media crumbles.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot, and I totally agree with what both
Yeah.
of you are mentioning. I have one question for you, Yana. When I let me quickly check my notes. Yeah, when I read your article, you mentioned that there are different kind of newsletters, but yours is solution centric, and I like that. What does that mean? What do
Yes.
you call a so-called solution centric newsletter?
So there are people who try to make money online with just writing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them are just sharing their thoughts and as if it is a diary or something like that. And then there's some of them that are focused on solving problems. And it's very few that I have seen that are very much like focused on just one single problem and then solving it in very different ways, and that is somehow differentiating them, and that's what makes them successful. And I do believe that you have to solve some kind of a problem. And if it is a fiction, then it's an emotional problem, but still there is some kind of a problem. So people have to, in a way, relate to the content that you create. And then I went to further, and I wanted to focus on the solution and also on the outcomes. So what those solutions create as an outcome to the reader, who is also potential customer and client.
Mm-hmm.
And that outcome, when you focus your content on that, I think this is how you create a system and a funnel which brings you a decent conversion rate, maybe not that high, not the highest high, but a good conversion rate. So you're focusing on that solution from the very beginning, from top of funnel to the end of the funnel, and that's something that makes it efficient. So that's how I think you can monetize really early a very small audience, but high
Yeah.
quality audience.
Well, can you talk? Because reading your article, it felt like you were talking about, like, how to create a value ladder appropriately. And so, like, how would you recommend, like, people figure out the mix in, like, of their value ladder so, like, they have some of these products at every tier? Like,
I believe, and that's how I'm creating my newsletter and pretty much all of my content around my newsletter. So I have some core, a core offer. Let's say it's a core offer. Let's say I'm helping people grow their paid newsletters, and then everything that I create as a content, like for example, when I start on notes or if I post on social media, because I also do that, I'm experimenting things. It's connected to the outcomes that I'm solving with my paid offers and with my products. so that I make sure that I attract the right people to my audience, and then when they hit to subscribe, then they become my free subscribers, and then the content is also connected to my offers, but then it directly leads. So I'm always selling something, every piece pretty much, except for notes and social media. And then when somebody buys, then I have other additional offers, which are basically upsell offers, but they are all connected. So everything has to be connected with this same outcome. So you could deliver the same outcome and solve the same problem in many different ways. Like, for example, a guide or a course or a book or a coaching service. And there are different people who would prefer a different way to have that.
So basically, with the upsell, you're selling more access to yourself.
Yes, that's
Okay.
how.
And
I
so
do have some, yeah.
I was no. This is for you. Go for it. Say
No,
words.
no. I was about to say that I also do have some done for you services. I'm not very great fan of that because it's taking me too much time to create for one single person. Those are my GPTs, so I create those for my founding tier members in my newsletter, and I personalize. I create a version of ChatGPT for them and personalize it to write like them. And it's really cool, but mostly it's access to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that a lot of people are blown away when I give them this statistic. So I've been a six-figure creator since 2017, which which is not the mind-blowing statistic. I had about 2,500 sales that year, like 25 unique people who bought from me, and I made it was something like 120, 150, $120,000. Last year, I made $400,000, and I had 3,000 unique sales. So like that was 4x growth without really increasing the number of sales that I had, like in the unique number of people who bought from me. All that it did is I went from having mainly books to courses plus books plus a conference and advertising and sponsorships, and like we then had products from like free to I think our biggest product sale last year was like 5 or 6 or maybe $7,000. And so like as opposed to $20 or $50 or so, which is what it was in 2017. So like you can do a whole lot of stuff um, with the same rough clientele. So yeah, so often people are like, well, I only have 100 customers. I'm like, okay, well, like 100 customers that buy a $5,000 a year service is like almost $1 million. Like,
Yes.
so where are you on the thing? And so often, especially in publishing, we think about monetizing the book or like the
Yeah.
writing, and like that is the scale you need to monetize writing is very large. Like in a good, but like the amount of money you need to host a writing retreat for 10 people or like do a food tour is like very small.
Yeah, also, I mean, take a look at how the internet evolved. I know we all started out with WordPress websites where you needed to have hundreds of different plugins and things in order to create a website where you can finally run AdSense on it or AdWords and try to make some money with it. If you want to have your own membership site, you need to have a plugin for that. It was like super confusing and super complicated. You basically needed to be a tech person first, and then you also needed to be able to create good content, and then you also needed to be a marketer in order to get people on your website. So you needed to have like 3 full-time jobs in order to make your website work. Nowadays you have websites like Medium, like Substack, like other places where there's already an audience built in, where there's already a content management system that's super simple, where all you need to do is have expertise in your one topic. And no matter if that's weight loss, if that's dog training, if that's helping other authors, if that's whatsoever, you can make an easy 5-figure months with it and therefore get to your 6-figure business.
It's true. Yeah. And it's true. And yeah, I love the way how Substack helps us to do that. Actually, they have it's in their interest to help us grow because they grow with us. It's really an
Yeah.
amazing platform.
I have thoughts on that, but sure. Let's
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, I think that it's very good at doing the thing that it does, but like it only is one very. So many people say, "Oh, I can't grow money on Substack, so I can't grow money anywhere." And really, like Substack is actually like pretty terrible at monetization. It's
Yeah.
like really bad for this book funnel that we have. Awful, like
Yeah.
terrible. Like it's probably like maybe 25% of the money that we would have made through Substack if we had just done like a free book funnel. Because there's no upsells, there's no bump
Yeah.
offers, there's no urgency, there's no like one-time offers, there's like just nothing there. So like if and like it's very hard to actively sell on Substack. Like there's not an easy way to do landing pages or to
Mm.
like even talk about your upsell offer. Like like all you get is like three very small lines of like what your founding member tier is. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna. No one's gonna spend. Very few people will spend $300 just looking at a founding tier to be like, oh, I get that. Like it doesn't make like you need generally more. So like Substack is great at doing the thing Substack does, which is
Yeah.
to create everything like it's the Washington Post. And like if you have the clout and the thing for Washington Post style publication, awesome. It will work really well for you. But I think we should also say that like Substack could have been building out all of this monetization stuff better, and instead they chose to add
Mm.
notes and video and podcasting and all of these things, which doesn't actually make it easier to monetize a newsletter. Sorry, I was trying to not say those things, but I just can't.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
I love
can't.
your
I have like
But
positivism.
here's
I
the
love your
thing.
positive.
There's the
Um,
saying, marketers ruin everything, and that's exactly the point what we've tried to do with it. Because honestly speaking, what you mentioned, and I come exactly from the same world. If it would be up to me, we would have the amazing community features like on Circle. We would have email automations. We would have funnels. We would have landing pages. We would have one-click upsells and everything on Substack. I know those things aren't here, but it was still our choice to do it on Substack just because we wanted to tap into that community. But I totally agree. If we would have set up a free plus shipping funnel, or like even give away the book for free with a one-click upsell afterwards, or a tripwire in place, we would have been seeing different results. But we chose to do it that way, and yeah, maybe we can inspire the guys from Substack to add some of those features that we would love to see.
Okay, yeah, I will remain a Substack fan on this. So it's just because there's no other place I know right now, no other platform that lets you grow email subscribers that fast and for free. And it's really, and it's for me, it's a high quality audience, and then you can do everything with it. I have set my automations, I import it to ConvertKit, and from there I can do pretty much anything that I want. Yes, different platforms, of course, but I'm also not really a fan to depend only on one platform. For me, the ownership of the email list, of my email list, is the most important, and the growth opportunities there. Yes, you grow free subscribers, you are kind of limited in monetization, and the paid subscriptions are for me the lowest low of the tier, like of the paid tier, because they're low ticket, and you need a lot of quality content and a lot of paid content in order to consistently grow paid subscribers. It takes a lot of effort, and for so little, where you can monetize your newsletter in many different ways, through automations and additional offers. But we can build that on the background. So I really love Substack on that.
I mean, I like Substack for the thing that it does.
Yeah,
My only contention is I think people fail at monetizing on Substack, and then they think there's like, well, it didn't work on Substack, so now it will like never work anywhere
Yeah.
else. And like
true.
it is
I
great
agree on
for
this.
new.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Like it is like we created the whole publication in like what is equivalent to like one human man hour work. To
Yeah.
um we did not, it would have taken a lot longer to build out that funnel and like test it and optimize it and all of those things. But so like doing quick those kind of things. Like I have 7 publications, so I think it's great. But like
Yeah.
I would like um, more options for
Yeah.
monetization here
No,
with
I agree. I
Substack.
fully agree. I even suggested to them in the bestseller chat to add one-time payments, and I think I got feedback twice, and that it's not happening.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but
Honestly speaking, I don't have a problem if they don't add those features, but I get super mad the moment they tell me I cannot promote my one-time offers to my audience through Substack because it's on an external platform whatsoever. The moment they implement this feature, it would be amazing. It would also make so much sense for them because they are taking a higher share. But I assume that's the case because they have a different vision of what three marketing heads like the three of us are thinking of it.
yeah,
Because if you take a look at, they are very interested in politics, in finance. I mean, for finance, it would make a lot of sense to have upsells there. For politics, I don't really know what an upsell could look like,
no,
but
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I will say that our book is very positive about like 10K secrets and like how to grow a business. And the great thing about it is there's 3 people on this call, and while they broadly agree on like how to build a business, like we each have our own strategies that have worked. My chapter is about turning a blog into a book and launching, and then like being able to launch it on retailers and Amazon and Kickstarter and all these other places. And you can get all of them, all 14, which is like I think 30,000 words for free by just joining our publication at
mm,
10ksecrets.substack.com. It will then come in your welcome email. So we have no control over when Substack sends that welcome email. It might be in
yeah,
3 minutes, it might be in 3 hours, it might be in three
yeah.
days, it might be never. I don't know. But like it will come in your welcome email. That is the only way to currently to get it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. And since we're talking about Substack features, it would be so cool for me to press a button here where suddenly there pops up a button in the middle of the screen saying subscribe to the publication now.
Yes, yes, yes.
Something like that would be amazing.
That would be
Um,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah. Yana, I want to quickly touch base on notes. You are someone who publishes, I think, 3 to 10 notes a day. You are only able to do this because you create them with your GPT.
Yeah.
Otherwise, creating 10 notes a day sounds like horrible to me. That being said, what role do notes play for you? Because before you said like you're not promoting anything on Substack. What's the
Mhm.
key idea of publishing notes for you?
So I make sure my notes deliver value to
Mhm.
my audience, and I make sure this value is connected to my offer so that it attract the notes. So the notes are a growth tool for me. I grow my free subscribers through notes, and currently I have in the last 30 days, I think 52% of the new subscribers come from notes for me
Mhm.
for the app, but basically it's mostly notes. And I trained this GPT on some viral notes from creators with smaller audiences to make sure that it's about the content and not the initial, push that the note gets from a larger audience, because there are a lot of notes which go viral just because the creators have huge audiences, and in the beginning their audience is basically helping this note to grow. Like, for example, we have many notes on politics that are,
Mhm.
distributed that way. So I train this GPT on this, and I make sure I basically use it to create notes out of my idea and to properly format it in a way that it's, ready to go viral or
Mhm.
get higher engagement. I'm not really striving to go viral. Some of my notes do go viral out of this GPT, and for me, viral would be above 1,000 likes. Um, but most of the notes do get decent engagement, and that's for the last month. It basically tripled my growth for free
Mhm.
subscribers. So
Rus-
yeah,
Russell, you sorry, go ahead.
no, you were asking me about the content of the notes, and it's connect. I'm not selling. I'm not putting any links,
Mhm.
because I noticed that when you try to sell something, even if you just add something like a CTA, even if it is the mildest mile of CTA,
Mhm.
check my newsletter or anything like that, nobody
Mhm.
resonates. It doesn't go. It doesn't fly. And I think it's basically because the first, whether your node gets a lot of traction or not, or engagement, depends on the first initial like 24 to 48 hours, where the node gets engagement mostly from, and it is distributed mostly to your subscribers and followers. And if those people already know what you have, then it doesn't make sense to promote there anything. I would better promote it in a newsletter or an email, or I mean directly, something like that, not on notes. Maybe it makes sense once the note takes off and gets distributed to like outside of your bubble, to people that don't know, unconnected accounts. Then maybe it makes sense to add something like a CTA or a, I wouldn't add a link in any way. But I don't do that. I just use notes to get the subscribers, and then that's everything that I need. After that, I can work with them with my publication and my automations and offers.
What do you
So
find works for like, but like, what is actually work? Do you like what is working now? Because currently people are like, oh, as I have to talk about Substack to like get put on Substack, and like I know that's not true, but like, what
no,
is working?
it's emotions. It's you can test with different types of emotions. So if it is a fiction, I would go with a very short storytelling, like 4 lines. For example, the format of, I don't know if you know Portia Nelson, and then her short story in 5 chapters. It's pretty much the same. I really like that. And if it is health, or I don't know, finance or something like that, I would try. So anger is pretty strong emotion. Like if you generate or make people feel angry to their current status quo and make them want the transformation that you're delivering in your newsletter, for example. It always has to be connected to your newsletter so that you gain subscribers. And another emotion for me, what works for me is inspiration, basically. The transformational journey from the beginning of my writing to where I'm now. But for people in my community who are also using this GPT, they say that anger works best also. And some of them are so I had one, I think it was Jeff. So Jeff had a viral note we created with this GPT, and it was about basically repurposing content. It was nothing special, but because this GPT used the word repackaging instead of repurposing, maybe that's something that resonated. I don't know, but mostly it's emotion. I would say it's emotion.
Cool.
Those type of
Awesome.
emotions that generate, make people act on them.
Sure. Sure. Cool. You had a question for me earlier, Philip,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't.
I wanted to hear your point of view because you once said to me you would automate everything possible in your life, especially in your business. So I know that you're someone who would hate it if I would tell you you need to write 5 notes every single day and you need to write them yourself. So what's your point of view on notes on Substack?
I just don't care about social media. Like I
Mm,
don't, I've done it. Like I've done the thing with like doing the three. I see you and like all I do is see you and Sinem and Yari in like my feed and Yana in my feed doing like go back like it's like all I see. And like it's I've tried it. And I just don't like it. I just don't like
mm,
how it makes me feel. I don't like how people comment as experts of things and are really snotty about it. And like, I'm just not great in comment sections. Like, I'm great in
mm,
comment sections of other people's posts. I am not great in my own comment section because people tell me how to, and I'm like, I don't need your I don't actually want your like opinion on like how this thing is. Like I'm telling you in my experience how it went. I promise you I will ask you a question if I want a question. And
mm,
like that is not a great way to enter social media or exist in social media. Like it kind of makes me sound even as I'm saying it like a prick. And so like I would rather just like not do it. Like I instead focus on I have like over 500 substacks recommending me at this point, And so like that tends to give me growth. Like I will post on social media, but like I have my own chat. I have three different chat GPTs, one trained on my fiction, one trained on my nonfiction, and one trained on my viral notes and the notes that have done well. And I do every morning for months. I went through and I've got one or two or three, and I posted them throughout the day. And I just literally 2 days ago was like, I hate that. That's terrible. Like I don't like any part of that. So like I think you have to say though, I am willing to suffer not having as much growth to do this to make a point. It's like I make points all the time by like not making as much money as possible. I could make way more money doing certain kinds of products or having different things. I could have way more growth talking about specific topics. And instead, I choose to talk about like the ills of capitalism and how to thrive in a capitalist dystopia that we find ourselves. That is not very shareable. Like that is not very like a lot of people like don't even know what the system is before they then they think it's like a negative thing, and I'm like it's not negative, it's just like how the process works and like how you actually can decode it. But like we all make choices in our business, and like some of those choices will give you more growth. Some of them will give you less growth. Some of the things that give you the most growth will give you terrible monetization or good monetization, or like, so it's like, what quadrant are we playing in? Are we playing in the high growth quadrant? Are we playing in the high monetization quadrant? Like, and what does that look like? Yana, I want this. I want to be like Yana, to be able to say, I actually don't care about notes. Notes is just an optimization engine to get organic reach to do this other thing. Like, God, if I could be that person, I would so love it. I have an assistant who I might like ask to do that stuff now, but Russell Nolte, am not good in like that world. And every time I go back to do it, even when it works, I'm like, I hate this. This is not how I want to exist in the world. And so, um, that's my general rule is you should go into every decision you make with your eyes wide open, knowing that you will likely get X or Y result. And as long as you know you're going to have less growth by not doing notes, like you should do it if you want to do it. But then you can't complain that like you are not having the growth. So like if I ever complain that my publication is not growing as much as I want, you all are like incentivized to please bash me down. Just like knock me on the head and be like, this is your choice, silly. You could fix this anytime you want by just like doing the thing. And so I don't know if that even goes close to answering your question, but like the only thing that that I'm able to do aside from writing a post on social media whenever I feel like it that actually does represent me is train a GPT and like have it write a viral post that it's never written before. And like whether that's to say like 4-line max or to feed it or like whatever that system is, like it is the only thing that I have found to work and the only way I've even come close to liking social media ever.
I love so much of what you just said, and I really love that you drove it home at the end where you said like it's your decision if you're doing those things or not, but you're also not allowed to complain if it's not working out for you. And I think that's something that is super important for everyone listening to this stream and not having thousands or tens or hundreds of thousands of subscribers, because when you're starting you need to be willing to do things that others are not willing to do. You're either much better in writing or you're much smarter or you outwork the other people. I cannot tell you about the first or the second because I'm not smarter than everyone else and I'm also not a better writer than everyone else, but I have no problem with outworking other people, especially when I'm starting out with something, because I want to turn something that starts as a hobby into a business. And the moment it got to the business, I can then reinvest some of the money into it to have an assistant, to have systems in place, to train GPTs whatsoever. But especially in the beginning, you need to be willing to do the work. And I also love what the two of you said with the GPTs. For me, going viral on Substack is something that no one can really plan. No matter how good you are on Substack, you cannot take a look at 10 notes and say, this one will go viral and the 9 others won't, if they are all generated by a GPT. The good thing about the GPT is it's like buying lottery tickets. You can only buy one lottery ticket a day without a GPT. With a GPT, you can buy 50 lottery tickets a day, and therefore you have a higher chance of winning the viral lottery. That being said, it's not really a lottery ticket because the GPT is just throwing out things. No matter how good you train it, you, at least as of right now, you can always make them better if you understand what makes a note really successful and add a little bit of personality to it. So that being said, make sure if you use those tools to understand that those tools alone will not make you successful, but they can help you accelerate your journey.
Yeah. Most of the time I edit everything that it generates. Most of the time it's very few exceptions sometimes, but it's very rare. I post just as it is. But this GPT that I'm using is really trained to with my own data with my own newsletter, my writing and everything. It has a lot of information. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I will just say that like I am in a privileged position. Like I have close to 50,000 subscribers. Like I have people reaching out to me. Like I have all of these things already working. Before, when I started, I did not have the option but to do all of this stuff, to go to every show, to like be on every platform, to like grab for every human, like launch every product whenever I did. Like, but I think that when you get successful, most people then say, great, how do I have more success? And my model was like, how can I just do less things? Like, how can I just stare at a wall for 5 hours and have my business work? And so, like, that is, I optimize for being able to go to the movies every day at 2 and like not, and I do not optimize for like maximum money or like and all any of those things. And so like I think it's really important. Like my only growth metric is like quality conversations had per week or per day. And like when you can and so like that is where I think like a lot of people, especially when they are um money as means people, what I mean by that is like finance people tend to be like money as end, whatever product as mean. I don't care what the product is. I don't care like what I'm doing, as long as it leads to money. I'm just going to optimize for money because then I have money at the end. Whereas like money as means people, or a lot of creators or writers or probably everyone on this call, where like the thing you're doing is like optimizing for, I want to create this product. And money is the means for me to do the work to create these products and do these things. But like I actually don't like, I just want the products. Like if I can do the products and like live the lifestyle that I want, like I don't care. And so a lot of money as means people, they see like, oh, how, I guess I just have to keep making the most money, even though I make enough money to survive now or thrive or do whatever I want to do. And I just chose different optimization metrics. Like I want to be able to go to lunch with different friends every day if I want to, and like be able to afford it. And I want people to just like read my thing and then just exist in their own space. Like I want them to process my work through the work and then like just have a think on it and then be like, awesome, I like that. I'm going to go on with my day. And so that is, it's just like it's a very different way than what most people would optimize for. But I'm still optimizing. Like I'm still building an optimized business. It's just like my optimization metric is joy, and my joy tends to be not in social media. Some people have great joy in social media. And so you can build an aligned business where you're all on social media and also having joyous conversations and being well loved and doing X, Y, and Z. It's just like, how do you build that business that like is optimized for how you want to exist in the world at any one time?
I can totally agree with that. That's something I think I've never shared publicly. but you can find it if you take a look at our imprint. So our brand is called Write, Build, Scale, but the actually company that Sinem and I are running together is called SP Freedom, because we said right from day one, the goal of this entire business is to provide us with freedom for our life. We don't want to have a company where we feel like we're slaving for it. We want to have all the freedom in the world, and we want to have a business that makes this possible to us. So yes, we could also make much more income by just taking on more one-on-one clients or whatsoever. But we are really at a point where we said we're raising our prices. We're working only with selected people, only with people that really want to get to the next level, just for the fact of sanity, because we don't want to have fully booked calendars. We want to have a balance in life. And yeah, so therefore this really resonates with me. So I might not optimize my business to go to the movies at 2 every day, but I found other ways to enjoy life to the fullest thanks to the business.
Yeah, I kind of do the same, but it's just because of my 9 to 5 job. So I try to figure out how to do more and achieve more with a working class. So I can also totally relate with that. Yeah.
So we've gone about an hour. Are we? We have more questions? Should we like wrap up? Should I give a final thing? Do we have final thoughts, Philip? What do you think?
I would say you give it a final pitch, and then we wrap up the session.
Yeah.
Awesome. So all of this has been in service of our new book, 10K Secrets. You can get 10K Secrets by subscribing to our publication at 10ksecrets.substack.com. It's 14 different creators who are all successful with 14 wildly different strategies that all like take different axes of how to build a 10K month. It's great. It's basically all the things that you just heard in a book form. And then you get the book through the welcome email. I'm sure at the end of this, we're going to send like a link to people who subscribe, but you can only get it until May 5th. And then we're going to pull it down. So this is your last week to do it. People that subscribe to the publication after May 5th will not get the free book. So I highly recommend you do that now. Yana, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I wanted to thank you all for having me. It was really fun conversation, like always, to talk about monetization and things, how to optimize things for better life and not so much on profits. So it was really a great conversation, and yeah, we're gonna share also the recording, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also from my end, thanks everyone for being here today. We had over 100 people joining live again. Thank you so much for that. Once again, if you want to get the book right now, you can get it for free. It's 10ksecrets.substack.com. And yeah, check it out. We have lots of other resources there as well. If you decide to become a paid subscriber to the publication, no matter if you join on the monthly or on the annual plan, it's always, I think, $27, right? And you
$37
get lots,
maybe?
or 37, sorry. And you get lots and lots of bonuses. Since I said 27 now, yeah, I want to stick with that. If someone wants to get it for 27, send me a message. I refund you $10 from my account just for messing up right here, right now. That being said, it's not about the profits for us. It's about the appreciation, and we also want you guys to take action. So if you're getting this book right now, here's one piece of advice. Go through the first pages. You will get an overview of how the book is structured, and then pick 1 or 2 strategies, read them, and give yourself some time to think about how to implement them. This is not a book that you need to read from cover to cover. This is something where you need to pick 1 topic or 2 or maybe 3, get inspired, and then take action. Because the 3 of us are action takers, and so we created a book for other action takers as well.
I love it. Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you guys, everyone, so much for coming. Thank you too for being on, and thank everyone who came on. And bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Talk soon. Bye, guys.